All right, guys, good morning to you. Let's start with a quick update on Bitcoin. We've got the 15-minute up here from Kraken. All right, so stepping back a little bit, so you'll notice right off the bat, now we've had to relabel this as a completed five-wave sequence. We had the possibility that this was our third. Given this price action, we now can, certainly be confident that we've got a completed impulse structure here. Now we're correcting that. So we've had a failure here. So I took this trade last night right when we got into the box. A very tight stop just on the other side of the 65. So it was about a 35, 30, I think it was $39 range there. I did take it with a little margin. So, that's a small loser, right? So, that's the first. That's the first time we haven't held the 61865 box on multiple time frames. So it would imply that potentially we have some more downside here. So we're stretching the limits here of this potentially being a 1-2. Now we technically that's still there as potential. We haven't taken out the 786, so this could just be a deep second wave. We won't know until we see some more action here. If we break this pivot here, currently labeled as a 4, that would be a good sign that potentially we'll relabel this. Right now, as you look at that, it would suggest, and it may make this break here while I'm recording this, but this 3-wave action here, that would imply corrective. And if we start to look at this last pivot low, you look at this and you go, okay, so we stop here. Well, why do we stop there? It's we don't quite make the median line, and I will tell you that's part of the reason that we're seeing this reaction. When we don't make it all the way to the median line, that often builds up the reaction that you're seeing here that took us outside of the outside edge of the pitchfork. We've gone to the 1.5, hit the Vegas wave, and we're seeing some additional selling here. Now this reaction here, that's potentially a 1-2, but again, as I'm recording this, we may take out this high, and that would require some relabeling. I want to show you this pivot here because when you first look at that, it seems like it's out of nowhere. We're through the 61865. We don't quite make the 786. We don't quite make the median line. So you have to ask yourself, well, why does it stop there? So immediately, back to solving the puzzle, I start pulling fib swings, looking for a relationship there. So the most obvious one, if we're trying to evaluate a third wave, is we'd go to the alternate and we'd look for a relationship between 1 and 3. So I'm just taking from the start of this that we're currently labeled as the B wave high, down to the 1, and I go to the 2 and see what we get. All right, do you see that? So we go exactly to the 618, the most common target for a third wave. So no surprise, Bitcoin remains extremely technical. The fact that we don't make the median line is what creates this reaction here. So now we look at that and we go, okay, well, if that's going to be a 4, well, of course, we're just going to take our standard retracement tool. We're going to pull from the 2 to what we know now is a 3 low, and you'll see we come here right just a few ticks shy of what I have labeled as a 4, a few ticks shy of the 50, and we go right to the Vegas wave. So potentially, and it remains to be seen. Like I said, we're getting a bit of a pop here as I record this. So we have the potential for this to continue down here. Here would be the new box down here where we might look for a reaction. So that would be a target that would give us the negative 23 off of the 2 to the 3 up to the 4 for that 50 here. Here's the negative 23. We'd want to look for some more relationship here. So we'd want to look at the 1 projected from what we have labeled as the 4. That would give us the 100% down here, common target for a 5th, if we're going to go down again and get a 5th. Now, if we take out this high here, we got to consider something else is happening. But right now, what that appears to be doing is putting in a 1-2. Right now, we got to see how deep that goes, but potentially you're going to get something along those lines. Let me take that degree down so it makes more sense. Go to a micro. So potentially, that's our 1-2. We'll have to wait and see how it responds. if we're going to take out this pivot. But right now, as I sit here looking at that, that looks most likely. If we break this, well, we got to consider something else is happening. It would surprise me, but the markets surprise me all the time. What I do see is continuation of the very technical trading. So if right now this would be the roadmap. We got a 1-2, we go down, we're going to finish somewhere down here, which potentially changes our longer term count, because we are still under the assumption that we are correcting this move here. We are still internal to that. We have the 786 right here. You'll notice I have it alarmed. Right? I want to know if and when we get to that 786. And we'll kind of watch this. It would be a cleaner trading environment if we were to come down here and finish. We could be buyers down here with more confidence if we get a completed 5-wave sequence. But we won't know yet. We got to look for the reaction. So right now we're looking for either a break of this high here, currently labeled as a 4th, or a break of this low here, currently labeled as the 1. A break of that low would tell us that we're likely going down for a 3rd, maybe off for a 4, and then we're going to finish off somewhere down here. It'd be interesting to see how far we get if we are going to go down and challenge this low. Then we'll have to reevaluate, likely on a higher time frame. So as I mentioned yesterday, when you're when you're evaluating and planning your trades off of a 15-minute chart, you have to be prepared to be constantly relabeling, because you're here getting all of the little micro swings. If you look at this on our longer time frame, if we go out to what has been our really sort of our basic reference chart here. Now we can look at this with a little more hindsight and a little more data, and we see that just as previously, the negative 23 has proven to be an important swing. So I think it was from where was it? Sorry, guys. I think it was right here. There it was. Okay, so we got from what we had labeled as our 2 up to our 3. We come down to the 50 here, and we've gone just shy of the 23. So this looks like a reasonable top. There were other swings there that I won't recreate because we've done them in so many videos. But so if I take that off, so you can see we just came a little shy of this outside edge here. There were other swing relationships, but on the larger scale, you can see how this algo target continues to be important. So this is the first break of the. We see we had it back here. We had it here, was an exact 618. Here's the first break of this, which is that's a point of caution. So we want to be aware of that. That is a break in the pattern that we've seen repeatedly as we've moved up and down. So one to watch. So if we're going to go down here, so now you might consider the next possibility that we're going to keep going to the outside edge of the pitchfork. You see in blue here. Right now I have the 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3 because of to encompass the range of swings here. But likely target, if indeed, if you think back to our 15-minute, if we're going to go back down again, we'd be looking for a test of that outside edge here, which would be right with the blue line here would be our 786 from this swing low to high. So we can still maintain a count here that would get us off to new highs with a new impulse underway as a 1-2. But we need a little more data to call that yet. Right now it's pretty much on the sidelines with this until we get clarity here as to whether or not we're going to put in a 2 and start down again to complete a 5-wave and a C wave. Or we're going to take out this swing high here and then consider relabeling. If this is a pivot here and we're going impulsive here, we'll have to consider some of the new alternatives, and we'll need to get some more pivots to work with. Right now, my best estimate is we've just put in a 2. And we're likely to head down and complete a 5. But listen, I'm wrong all the time. So we'll wait and see what the market is going to show us. I'd be on the sidelines, be my suggestion right here. There's good opportunity across the board. We'll find some other trades today. Okay, that's it for now.